give me a rundown. You talked about grays, you talked about whites, you talked about mandates. Give me a rundown on catch some of these people up who may not know what's going on.
Well, the gray is the one that you see most of the time
Mhm.
because there are so many of them. And the reason there's so many of them is the primary function of a gray is a biological robot type creature that does the physical manual labor. They would be classified in years past as being a slave race. They're actually biologically engineered. They don't appear to be necessarily cognizant of being alive as much as they are a programmed creature that has jobs to do, and they're very good at what they do. But they're not in charge. I don't know anything about how well they make decisions, or if they're cognizant of philosophical type stuff. The ones that I really enjoy talking to are the mantis, and mantis, at least in the case of the one that I had a little bit of talk with, were very, very kind, very, very sweet. They let you know they were concerned about your fear, and they always said something to leave you on a good note. They always pumped you up a little bit, sort of like a teacher, but they're the kind of ones you'd like to sit down and talk to, and yet it kind of frustrates me because I can't sit down and shoot the breeze with them and figure out some of the ins and outs rather than the facts.
Now, when you say mantis, why are they called mantis?
They're the ugliest things I've ever seen. Their eyes are beautiful, but they're very strange. They have insect eyes. And their faces, all you got to do is look at a praying mantis. Now, would you want to go and run into a 7-foot tall praying mantis that is known that the female of the creature turns around and bites the head off of her lover? And I don't want to mess with something like that, but these guys they seem to have worked through that.
That's good.
And I've heard stories about some others, but I don't think the mantis would really want to eat you.
Okay. So, what are taxonomically? What are some of the other categories that folks have identified? Or
Yeah, there's humanoids. I'm convinced that I have some on some pictures that I took with trail cameras, and they were in the presence of 2 or 3 other kinds of creatures, like the Sasquatch type creatures, like the little short white creatures with the big ears. I'd never seen those things before. I've only seen those small ones twice, and they were unusual. They had a gleam in their eye that the grays didn't have. They seemed to be tuning in to what you were doing, as opposed to trying to figure out how to do their job. And it's pretty cool stuff. And the humanoids look just like humans, except when they walked away from me or walked away from my camera, all of a sudden they went up and there was an energy bloom and they were gone. So that told me I don't know too many humans that can do that.
I don't know any that can
I don't know any that can do that, and these things did it. It was very strange.
Now, it seems like pretty much all of your experiences have been very positive, for the most part. Have you talked to people, or have you had personal experiences that were negative or
No, I
concerning?
haven't had negative ones. I have a very dear friend, and I've only known him for about a year and a half, but we immediately connected because of our experiences. And plus, he was in the military. He was in the Army, and he was in Afghanistan, and he repaired radios for Special Forces. And when he got out, the Army didn't want him to leave. And one night, back towards Nashville, very nice fella. This fella was accosted by special forces, human, and what they call reptilian, very tall reptilian. And he ended up in the hospital for 3 months with bad injuries. They've been back a few times. That was the only time that there'd been actual those types of things happening. But like me, he has a lot of experience with seeing different things. His mother also, she is much more of a seer than he is. Some people can look, and if there's one anywhere in the area, they'll see it. I mean, it's like it's tuned in. It's like a frequency that you're on. And a lot of people don't see the same thing. You can have 10 or 12 people standing looking in the same area, and maybe only 2 or 3 will see it. Wow. And I think it has to do with the way you perceive things and the way that you can change your perception to adjust. It's almost like adjusting a radio to a frequency, but you're doing it in your mind. You don't realize that you're really doing it because it's a natural thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I see it.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.